We'll kick things off with our third place finisher, Marvin Muskin on the Red Bull KTM, number 25, tied with Eli Tomac now for second in points. Marvin, you had several moments there toward the end of the race, but you guys had a heck of a battle going with your teammate as well as Blake. Just take us through your Daytona Supercross tonight.
Well, actually, I had a great day. I mean, practice was awesome, and we started off with yesterday press, and the whole weekend was actually great. The atmosphere was great here in Daytona, and definitely looking forward to that race. So it was good, and until I would say, I mean, practice was great. I was the fastest, and I put some really fast laps, so I was really comfortable. And then after the heat race, we actually went down in the second turn, so that put me behind and came back to fifth place, and I was a little bit outside on the starting lane going into the main event. So, but somehow I made it happen, and I went in the sand, and I got off the sand. I was in the top 5, so it was a great position, and made some passes, and I was riding great, and just made some mistakes, and actually hit neutral and stole the bike actually over there on the far side of the track. So that cost me a lot, and I had to charge back, and I was able to come back to third and almost to second. So I definitely charged really hard, and the speed was good, But yeah, it was only enough for third, I would say. So a little bit bummed for sure, but I gave my best, and it was a hard fight for sure.
Thank you, Marvin. Nice job. To runner-up finisher Cooper Webb, Red Bull KTM. Cooper, you now have a 19-point lead in the standings over Eli. Your second straight podium here at the Daytona Supercross. Take us through your night. As I asked Marvin, you had some great battle with Marvin as well as Blake Baggett, and fighting for the podium.
Yeah, it was a battle the whole time. I think I came around third or so on the first lap, and Marv got around me quick, and then there was a lot of it. I made a few mistakes, went back a little bit, and had to pass my way back up, and then Marv made a mistake, and I think me and Blake got around him, and then I had a battle with Blake, and then Marv was all over me at the end. So it was a battle the whole time, and it was a fun race, difficult race, but it was good to get a second and be on the podium again at Daytona.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Cooper. And we'll now talk to our winner of the Daytona Supercross for a third time, Eli Tomac, aboard the Monster Energy number 3 Kawasaki. The Kawasaki's 15th 450 Daytona win completes a sweep of the night. And it's Eli's third win of the season. With Eli's third Daytona Supercross, he now joins as the 5th rider to win specifically 3 Daytona Supercross wins. Eli, really important night tonight, the special helmet. You're very determined. Talk about, you said on TV you didn't get a great start, but around lap 5 is when you kind of pulled off.
Yeah, I mean, starting with the day is like, it was just tough. Like, I was behind these guys. I mean, at one point, Marv had a lap time that was 2.5 seconds faster than me, and I'm kind of sitting there questioning myself. And we just kind of played catch up and made some improvements each practice, and then getting to the main event there, it kind of like took a little bit to get in the groove, and then got shuffled to third, and then finally found like the lines and the flow, and I was making good time in the whoops. And it just started coming to me. So, having that third win here is pretty special.
It is. Put you in exclusive company, including Hurricane Hannah right over here to my left on the wall there. We'll open up for questions. Everybody got any questions? We have a wireless mic. We'll bring that over to you. We'll start right up here.
Mitch Kendra, Racer X. Okay, so Eli, the sand section, we saw a lot of miscues and mistakes from everybody in general. There's also a lot of passes there. How tough do those sand additions make to the track? How does that change your approach throughout the day?
It was a spot to pass, so it was nice. I mean, I would say early in the day, the majority of the time we were using the inside, but once we got racing, the outside opened up, and that was good. In the main, actually, I kind of made I'll just call it a dork mistake, left the door right back open to Blake there. The outside was faster if you were in the clean air, but left that open. So, but yeah, it was good. We were able to make a couple passes in it, as long as your goggles stayed clean.
Jason?
Yeah, Jason Wygant, Racer X. Eli, You've had a couple wins now and a couple of finishes outside the top 5 in between. Is there anything you're able to pinpoint one week to another to try to make this a win streak instead of losing the ground you gain after the victories?
I mean, one thing is just putting yourself in the right position, off the get-go. And tonight, I just got better starts, whole shot at that heat. And then, was right there, top 3 in the main. So just being there, in the heat race. And, last week I buried myself in the main and just it wasn't good enough. I wasn't able to, come up through the pack like I was the week before. So, past couple weeks, it's been a position thing.
Any other questions? Go up here to Steve, and then we'll go to Godwin.
Steve Giverson, Vital MX. It's interesting to me to listen to the 250 guys talk about how beat up the track was. And that's the starting point for you guys. Early it looked like it was going to be a little bit atypical Daytona, more technical in rhythm, but it got beat down. Can you guys talk about that?
It was a little bit beat up, but I would say for the Daytonas I've raced in the past, it wasn't the worst one. Surprisingly, that big rhythm lane, I mean, you'd think there would be ruts like filled across the whole thing, but there really wasn't. Like the big table to table had a smooth face. So, I mean, they did a pretty good job of, tuning up the track. Maybe a few of those corners were, a little one line because they're almost like too tuned up, but wasn't the worst one I've ridden.
Marvin or Cooper, you want to add anything to that? Okay.
No, I mean, I said it all. I mean, I feel like, it was definitely very technical. But yeah, I thought it was going to maybe be a little worse, especially the big rhythm. It held up actually really good. Going off that big quad table to table, I mean, that face was actually pretty hard. So good thing, because it would have been very, very tough. So it's just they got a little bit hard underneath, and that's what made it a little hard. And one section of the track was harder, and the other section was a little softer. And they cleaned up the track a little bit before us in subsections, and it helped a little bit. But yeah, the rhythm after the start and the sand, they would fix it, but it was like softer. It was getting deep. So, but all in all, it was good. It got rougher through the main, and more lines were developing. So. It was good for racing.
Yeah, it was. I'd say like if you're on the start, the right side of the track was more hard pack, and then the left goes super soft and ruddy. So you got a little bit of everything, but I felt like this year there was a lot more maintenance throughout the day for sure, and it was a tough track, but like Eli said, I think in the past it's definitely been none there for sure.
Godwin?
Godwin Kelly, News Journal for Eli. Eli, can you talk about the gate configuration? Because it seems like there was, going into turn 1 and then turn 2, there was a lot of congestion, a lot of mishaps.
Turn 2 was the turn where it was, balling guys up. But, for the starting line itself, it was pretty... inside, it was inside advantage. Like if you were top 5, it was like you're going to come out top 5 unless you really blew that start. So it was important to qualify up front.
Jason?
This question is for Cooper. I know that you started the year kind of an underdog status, and you said your goal was to just try to win one race. How hard is it to keep ignoring the fact that you continue to have the points lead? Now we're into the second half of the year. How do you maintain that same discipline even though your situation in racing is a lot different than it was before the season began?
I mean, I'd say I got beat pretty good tonight, so that's my goal is to come out each weekend and do the best I can and try to be up front. Once you get that taste of victory, you want it all the time. So, for me, it's pretty easy. I got beat tonight, and there's stuff for me to work on. So that's what I think keeps me, motivated and in the moment, and just taking it weekend by weekend and doing it that way.
Anything further? We'll wrap it up. Congratulations, guys. Marvin, Cooper, Eli. Great job. Thank you.